What's up, guys? Colton, Lindsay here. Round two, take two, something like that. Here we are live on the WGR Live, interviewing Nicky today, who founded a really cool podcast. It's called the Thought Leader Revolution, and where he's talking with big thought leaders on how to revolutionize life, right? So what if you could think on a higher level to not only dramatically increase your income, but dramatically increase your entire existence? Is that something you'd be stoked about? If you guys are hopping on now, make sure to put an L in the comments if you're watching live, or put an R in the comments if you're watching the replay. Let me see if I can get Nicky on here real quick. And if you have not already subscribed, and I know most of you, and tell me if I'm wrong, most of you are watching this on a mobile device, right? So if you're on your mobile device, at the bottom of the stream, you should be able to put turn on your remarks, okay? So I want you to be able to turn on, or sorry, not turn on your remarks, turn on your notifications as we're waiting for Nicky to hop on here. Some of the things that we're gonna talk about from my guess, and I can't assume how this conversation is gonna flow, but some of the conversation we're gonna have today is, number one is, how do thoughts literally affect? What is Nicky in now? Let's see if it works. Give me some thumbs up if you guys are patient for me. Oh, look, we got it. It's right on his mustache.
God, man. All right.
Where you at, Nicky? I see that killer mustache, but I don't see anything else.
Man, what's going on here? You can barely see me now.
Yeah, I can't even see you, dude. It's like it's
great.
zoomed in on your face. Can you guys see him? Put yes. If you cannot, put a no in the comment. Oh, there you are. Your screen's dirty.
That's all it was, brother. I don't use the iPad for this sort of thing. I usually go on the computer, so I was not prepared.
Well, now you know. Now we're completely ready to roll. Awesome, man.
Oh, brother.
Turn it the other way. Turn it horizontal. Right there. There we have it. Boom. We got you. Live. We see you.
All right. I got to do something to make sure this thing stands up and is not going to fall. So just hold on a sec.
Cool. So while we're waiting for him, how many of you guys would like how many of you guys watching would like to get to a set 7-figure income? Put a yes in the comments. Some of you might be thinking, maybe I just want to get to the 6-figure, right? So, Nicky.
What about 8-figure or 9-figure?
What about 8-figure or 9-figure? Why the hell not? Why we're throwing figures out, let's throw it out there. So real quick, Nicky, to start the conversation off, take 90 seconds or less, introduce yourself and how you got to where you're at in your life. So 90 seconds is short, but then we're going to roll from that with conversation.
Listen, I am a Christian immigrant from the Middle East, from Iran. After the Islamic Revolution, my family came to North America. I've been an entrepreneur. My family's always been into entrepreneurship. It's our thing. We believe entrepreneurs are society's greatest heroes. They make our society a better place. My father and my mother worked hard to build their businesses and employ people and serve people. So that's what I'm all about. I like serving entrepreneurs. I like helping them kick ass, take names, chew bubblegum, and win bigly, as my good friend Scott Adams would say. And that's awesome, what I'm all about.
Cool, man. So let's talk about this real quick, because I listened to a couple of your podcasts. And if you guys are watching, hit that share button, get it out to some more people. Tell me about Thought Leader Revolution. What's the whole purpose behind the Thought Leader Revolution?
The Thought Leader Revolution is simply about helping you and I take the genius that's latent within us and have that genius allow us to serve more people in a bigger scale, make a bigger difference in the world, and make bank, baby. That's what it's all about. So we teach you how to be recognized as the go-to thought leader in your space. We show you how to position yourself so you stand up from the sea of sameness, so that you're somebody who is put on this earth to make a difference, to make a dent in the universe. We're all about that. We're all about helping you add $100K to $1 million or more to your business every year while working 10 to 20 hours a week less. That's what the revolution's all about, brother.
Is that 10 to 20 hours a week less, 10 to 20 hours less per week is what you're saying?
Yeah, work 10 to 20 hours less per week, make $100K to $1 million a year or more.
So how are you doing that? What's the secret to help someone get to $1 million a year, working 20,
Number
let's say
one is
20,
you
30
can't
hours
be
a week?
like everybody else. You can't be like everybody else. You can't be stuck in that sea of sameness. You need to stand out. You need to figure out what's your latent genius, how you can serve people, what makes you different from everybody else. Number two is you got to find a message, a unique, powerful message. And that message has got to make a difference. So I do a couple things. I have a couple of what we call clusters, target markets we go after. One is I go after coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs. The other is I go after men who are separated fathers whose wives have left them. So in the first, I find what we call a bleeding neck. What's a bleeding neck of a lot of entrepreneurs? They're stuck in a plateau. They're not making the money they deserve to make. They feel terrible. They feel like, oh my God, I must be a loser. I'm an imposter. Nobody's going to want to do business with me if they figure this out. I'm never going to get past this. And my job is to help them see their greatness, get them past it so they make that extra cash. With a separated father whose wife has left him, he feels like he let down his family. He feels like he let down his wife. He feels like a victim. He's lost his mojo, his power, his belief in his ultimate masculine manhood. And my job is to bring him back to that so that he can be the best man he can be for his kids, be the best man he can be for his woman, even if they never get back together again, and be the best man he can be in the world so he can make bank, so he can be healthy and fit and an awesome father and make our world and our society a better place. That's what I'm all about. And that's how I stand out. Everybody knows Nicky Billou is the man to go to if you want to get your man balls back, and Nicky Billou is the man to go to if you want to become a thought leader and stand up from the rest of the pack in the world, brother.
So let's real quick, can you guys watching, how many of you guys can just sense Nicky's enthusiasm, bringing the energy and the excitement? So I appreciate you bringing that energy. Let's talk about the man balls disappearing. And this is a conversation I don't think is had out in the open enough. What's going on with today's society in the masculine energy, almost like the man balls are being circulated off and men don't feel equipped enough to go out there and deliver the message? Why is that happening, and how do we cure that problem?
Here's a straightforward thing. So listen, back in the 60s, there was a revolution to liberate women, the women's lib movement. And there was a lot of good things about it because it helped women get out there in the workplace and be able to, take on jobs that used to not be open to them, and true freedom came to them. Unfortunately, as part of that process, there was a lot of man shaming going on, that this is all men's fault and whatnot, and a lot of men took that on. And so men basically gave up something they'd done for centuries, millennia, which is to be steady, be like a rock, take care of their family, be the provider. And right now it's gotten to the point where a lot of men don't even know what being a man's all about. They're trying to figure it out. They're lost. And that's a shame, because being a man is about several things. Number one, it's about giving and keeping your word. Number two, it's about honoring your family, honoring your woman. And, number three, it's about being a provider. And that's always good when men do that, when they step up and they got their power. And now we got a world with, where it's gone from wanting to go after predators like Harvey Weinstein and getting goofballs like that off the street to, like, a lot of men feel like if they even talk to a woman funny, they're going to be accused of, Me Too, sexual assault, toxic masculinity, and crap like that. That's not cool. So we definitely don't want men who are behaving badly like the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, but we also don't want to have all men tarred with the same brush of your evil just because you're a man, and you got a pair between your legs. That's not cool either. So what it is men got to recognize that. They got to stand up for men. They got to stand up for masculinity. They got to, knock down sexism against men, knock down misandry. Misandry is as evil and more insidious these days than misogyny, because, it's society today. It's cool to say bad things about men, while it's definitely not cool to say bad things about women. And I say that's wrong. Shouldn't say bad things about women. Shouldn't say bad things about men. That's what it's all about. And so men today, they're lost. They have lost what it is to be a man. We're all about helping these men step back into their masculine power, be honorable, treat their family with honor, treat themselves with respect, get in touch with that warrior spirit within them, bring that forth in the world, and conquer, my brother. That's what it's all about.
You know what? It's so funny. I believe that powerlessness has become the new power in society, right? Like the victim is becoming the person that's been able to take control over that, right? And it's going to be, there's going to be an energetic shift. I don't know how soon it's going to happen, but I think that there's going to be enough men say enough is enough, right? Some of the key things that I've come aware of, Nicky, in what brings, what allows for a man to be a man, number one is presence. right? And if a man cannot be present inside of his business, present with inside of his family, present with those people that he's around, you can sense that in his energy, right? I mean, how difficult is it today for humans to be present because they're so distracted from some sort of device? We're seeing it all over the place, right?
Sure, but that happens to women too. That's not just
totally
something to deal with, right? So to me, the things that are uniquely like masculine is that men have lost is keeping your word.
Yep.
You're a man. There was a time where being a man meant your word was gold, and you were expected to keep your word. Today, so many men say crap and they don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there was a man I talked to on Friday. I had a call set with him at 1:30. He was a no-show for the call. I called him. He said, oh, okay, I'll call you back. I thought that meant in a few minutes. He called me back 7.5 hours later and said,
wow.
Yo, man, don't on me, man. Yo, man, don't throw that stuff on me, man. Don't you pull that on me, that thing. My day's got to be fluid. And I'm like, dude, man, no, man. You're a man. You give your word. You keep your word. It's that simple. If you can't do that, that's a tentative masculinity. You're giving up your power. We feel good when we keep our word. We feel good when we get shit done. We don't feel good when we don't keep our word. We don't feel good when we're not accomplishing stuff. So as a man, you need to do that. You need to be task-driven. If you're in a long-term committed relationship, hey, man, your job's to make your woman happy. She's got to feel good that she picked you. And a lot of men these days, here's the deal. They win a woman's heart. Then they, like, go on vacation. And the woman goes, hey, where's the guy I fell for? And what's up with that, man? Like, you got a wife? Guess what? You know what your most important job is if you have a wife? Keeping her happy, especially if she's the mother of your kids. And that's where I screwed up. I didn't do that when I was married. You know, being the mother of your kids, man, you know, this woman deserves your best. You come home from work, you're not tired. The mother of your kids wants your time. Put on your game face and say, sweetie pie, it's so nice to be home to see you. Tell me about your day. And you make her feel good. You just make her purr like a kitten. Then your job is kind of done. And you go play with your kids. You do what you got to do. That's what men do. And, you know, as men today, they argue with their women. And I'm guilty of this. You know, I'm getting better at it, but I still suck at it, comparatively speaking, is the woman says, hey, honey, take out the garbage. And they argue with her. They go, yo, man, take out the garbage yourself. And like, no, that's your woman. She said take out the garbage. You smile and you say, sure thing, honey. I'm sorry I didn't do it sooner. You make her feel good that you're a man. Good that you're the one in her life. That she decided to give you her heart and her love and her feminine beauty and her sex. And she's not giving it to anybody else. I mean, shoot, man. So many men just don't get that. And then there's this other thing where they talk like girls. They're not masculine. They're feminized. Like, you think a woman wants a man who looks and who talks like a girl and is like all girly? No, she wants a man. Listen, I'm 50 years old, okay? And I'm very happy in a relationship. But I'm telling you, like, today, just today, I was somewhere. And just out of how I carried myself, I got noticed by some younger ladies. I mean, not that, hey, listen, honey, I love you. There was nothing going on and nothing, but I got noticed. And I'm not on the make. I'm not trying to look for something. I don't dress like a metrosexual. It's not my thing. But they can feel that man energy.
Yeah.
And that's what they want. They don't want to date another girl unless they're lesbians. Then they want to date another girl. Nothing wrong with that. God bless them. But heterosexual women in particular, they want a man who's a man. They want to feel that man energy. And if you don't have that, if you've given it up, and if you turn into a whiny little bitch, sorry, you ain't going to have it. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to work.
But it's funny because it's almost as if men have become women wrapped in this fake masculine energy, and women have taken on the role of masculine energy, right? And it's almost
Actually,
as if
it's happened too much. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, men don't know how to become men anymore, right? Like, we're not taught how to be men in society. So what are the things that three things in particular that I believe in order to bring that masculine energy into the relationship one is number one is a woman needs attention all the fucking time. Like, they just need attention. It's hard to do that, right? But women need attention. They need to just to have you present with them. Number two is they just need to feel appreciated, right? Like, they need to feel understood and appreciated, because half the time, like my wife, I love her, she'll just want to talk to me, and I'm such a problem solver. I want to solve those problems, Nikki, right? But she doesn't want me to solve her problems. She just wants to be understood.
They don't want you to solve their problem. But be careful about this thing about giving them attention all the time. They actually don't want that. They want you out of their face sometimes, and you need to be out of their face sometimes. But when you're there, you need to be there and not playing on your phone.
That's what I mean. That's
right?
what I mean.
But
When you're
no,
there,
you know,
give them the attention.
Yeah, they want your ass out of the room a lot, a lot.
The
But
final thing is
yeah,
they want to feel secure, right? They want to feel taken care of. They want to feel like they're in a relationship with
now
someone.
you've hit the nail on the head. Love to a woman is being taken care of. Love to a man is being accepted. And so what do men do? They try to, they try to accept their woman, and the woman is not really all that into that. And what do women do? They try to take care of the man. He's not really all that into that. That's part of the problem between the genders, is they don't understand that. So when a woman gets a man just needs to be accepted, things get a lot easier for that man. And when a man gets a woman just wants to be taken care of, things get a lot easier for that woman.
Hey, look, we got Danny Morell just popped on watching. Have you ever met Danny Morell?
No, man. Who's Danny Morell?
That's a guy you need to have on your podcast, right? So he's
right.
got a company in California, Intero Real Estate, 400 real estate agents. I think they were somewhere around $40 million in revenue last year. That's a guy that needs to be on the Thought Leaders Revolution for sure.
That man needs to be on the podcast. That's the man I'd like to serve inside of what I do inside my business. Danny Morell, reach out to me on Facebook, friend me. Let's talk, my brother.
So let's talk about how does this masculine feminine energy, how does it affect the income that can be generated inside of a business? I mean, if a guy's not acting in that masculine energy, how is it affecting his money?
Oh man, he's not good. He's gonna be playing small, brother. He's gonna be playing small. He's not gonna be getting what he should be getting. A man who's in his full masculine man power. And I want to just draw a distinction between macho and masculine. Macho is an energy of an adolescent. It's an energy of a man who struts around and acts tough and fights. He might even, be involved in criminal activity and gangs. He might have knives and guns. He might shoot and kill people, but that doesn't mean he's masculine. He's more macho. A masculine man, that's not what it's all about. It's not about being tough and big and strong. A masculine man is about keeping your word, doing what you say you're going to do, doing it when you say you're going to do it, the way you said you're going to do it. It's about taking care of your woman a certain way. It's about being a certain way with men. It's about not arguing. It's about, not picking battles with, weaker opponents than you. It's about being an example to children out there, That's what it's all about. That's what masculine's about. Macho is about strutting and preening and, peacocking and all that jazz. That's macho. So it's really important to understand the distinction between those two. Very important, though, brother, is, you know what, inside a business, inside your work, if you're a man watching this, I don't know if all your audience is men or women or what, but a man who's watching this, he needs to reach down and find the power of his masculine energy. He's not going to do that by himself. He needs to do that with men. That's why he needs to do programs. I mean, I've got access to some programs for men. There's some great ones out there. The Sterling Men's Weekend with Justin Sterling's been around a long time. I've done it. I've been part of the Sterling Men's group. There's the game day training with Avi Nakash. That's a newer program, but Avi's been in Sterling. He's been a landmark leader as well. He's kick-ass. There's the Art of Masculinity. That's put on by Matt Lyons and another fellow by the name of Peter Thompson out of Vancouver, British Columbia. Those are all some pretty great programs for men. But, when it comes to thought leadership's for both men and women, right?
Yeah.
Thought leadership is, you're a man, you're a woman, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you have expertise. You've lived the life. You've learned stuff. And that stuff is stuff that is valuable to other people. It can actually be commercialized. So, example, I like to sell. I'm into selling. I believe sales is an act of love. I believe sales is an act of service. And so I come from that frame when I'm working with people. And having that as part of my thought leadership is powerful because I get to be able to serve a lot more people. When I sell, I serve. It's really what it's all about. Let's say you were coming to me, Colton, and you said, hey, Nicky, man, I made $500K last year. I'm a thought leader, but I want to be a celebrity thought leader. I got a video called The Stages of the Thought Leader's Business Journey. I'm going to find it and forward it to you, Colton. It's pretty good. I think some of your folks might be interested in watching the various stages. But the celebrity thought leader is someone who's making like 5 million plus, works when he wants or she wants. They got leaders coming after them and all that good stuff. Those are the kinds of people that we're really, really interested in helping. So let's say you want to do that. You want to make $5 million a year. You want to know how. Man, I'd be all about helping you to do that. I'd say, okay, Colton, what's going on? Why do you want to get there? The why is really important. I need to be able to get behind your why before I accept you into my program, either my one-on-one or my mastermind programs. And as long as, you're a good person and you want to make a difference in the world, it's not just about making your paycheck and your bank bigger, although I'm definitely about that as well, then I'll help. I'll definitely help you. You need to be decisive. You can't be one of these wishy-washy people who goes, I don't know, should I, should not. You got to be able to make a decision and stick to it. You need to be committed. You got to be the pig, not the chicken and bacon and eggs, because the chicken's interested, the pig's bloody committed. You need to be committed to success, not a dabbler. You need to be resourceful. That means you need to be able to come up with the money to work with me, because you know what? I'm really expensive. It's actually cheap in the long run, but a lot of people look at it and go, oh my God, that's a lot of cake. But hey, man, that's what it takes to get there. So you got to be resourceful. You got to come up with the money. You got to come up with the time. You got to be able to do the things that I'm going to tell you to do to get you to the next level. And finally, you need to be coachable. You can't argue with my coaching. That's like arguing with your doctor when he says your bone's broken and we need to set it. You're going to go, you know what? I think I need you to mess with my hangnail first. Hell no. You're going to let the doctor set your bone. You're going to sit down. You're going to shut up and let him do his job. You know, that's the way it's got to be. So those four qualities to be there, if they're there, then I might work with you. Then I might help you and get you to the next level. That's what it's all about. And if I do that, I take you on, I'm pretty good at getting success results. Last year inside my program, there are 3 people I helped get to $1 million. One young man, Dan Nisker, 2.5 years ago, he made $20K. Last year, he made $1,010,530. Another young man, Chris Chen, you know, he's in his mid-30s. He's a millennial. He was making maybe, I don't know, 150, 180K. We got him to $1 million run rate. Another fellow by the name of Victor Minaj, I've been working with him a little bit longer, but I took him from making $10K a month to $80K a month. And then on top of that, he was having a hard time getting investment for real estate because he's a real estate investor. He just got $4 million on a $2 million subscription. How cool is that? But that's only possible because they had those 4 qualities. And they listened to somebody who helped them stand out as thought leaders out in the marketplace. People who had a unique message, who had a clear target market, people who had unique intellectual property, people who stood out as a preeminent expert, people who didn't do it alone. Don't do 2018 alone, Colton. I'm telling people, do not do 2018 alone. You need to do 2018 as a team sport. Winning is a team sport. And we're here, we're playing to win. Colton, that's all we're all about. Let me show you something here, Colton. Here's my vision board. Okay? It's incomplete, but this is Nicky's vision. And over here, I'm saying I want to make over $2 million this year. But on the back, it says, I'm playing to win in gold. Gold on black. Awesome colors, powerful. I read this every day. I look at this. I go, I play to win. So, Colton, here's the thing. A lot of people get up during the day, and they can be in one of 3 places. They can either be playing to win, they can be playing not to lose, or they can be playing to lose. I'll give you a sports analogy. You got a game, a soccer game, a hockey game, a football game, a basketball game, it doesn't matter. There's a team that's playing to win. They're taking the ball down to the net or to the end zone. That's what they're all about. They're pushing hard. They're going to victory. Then there's a team that's got a lead, and they're playing not to lose. They line up their defense. They don't try to win. They're just trying not to lose. And then there's the team that in their mind, they already believe there's no way they're going to win, so they're just going through the motions, and they're playing to lose. What are you doing today? If you're watching this Facebook Live, are you playing to win? You got that energy going on that you are playing to win, victory is assured? Or are you playing not to lose? Or, worst of all, are you playing to lose because you don't believe you can win? Because it's already been beaten out of you, man. And I'm telling you what, brother, inside my thought leadership, one of the things I focus on is teaching people to live in playing to win. Because if you live in playing to win, you're going to win.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, because a couple things that even some of the people watching have noticed is the amount of energy that you bring just to this podcast, to this live stream, right? Where does all this energy come from, right? Like come out of the thin air.
Nicky Billou, brother. I've gone through a hard life, man. My wife left me in September 20th, 2009. It devastated me. I became a little bitch. I blamed her. I was this small, man. My business tanked. It went down to $5,000. It was horrible. I'm telling you what. I went through the crucible of fire. And I kept working. I kept finding people. I did not do life as a solitary sport. It was a team sport. I found myself a mentor for coaching for men. I found a men's group. I joined a men's group. And I had men hold my feet to the fire. You know, I went to events. I kept trying to serve clients. I did everything in my power to fill my head with positivity, to learn, to grow, to be better. And it took a long time. I mean, it's 2018 right now. So, you know, almost 8.5 years. But you know what? It happened for me because I was relentless. I didn't do this alone. I had mentors. I had coaches. I had dudes like you doing stuff with me and for me. And, people listening to this, if this is something they're interested in, you know what? Come find me on Facebook. Listen to my podcast. If you want to jump on a call with me, private message me on Facebook. I'll be happy to do all that with you. But at the end of the day, the power came because I have been relentless. I've had relentless desire to win. And it's really important to have mentors, Colton. You know this. You teach this. You live this. You believe in this. So many people try to do this alone, and they say dumb things like, but I don't have the time. I don't have the money. What if he's the wrong mentor? Hell, man, are you crazy? You can't afford not to get a mentor. When I was making $5,000 a year, I hired a guy to coach me for 5 hours for $5,000. That was my entire year's income. I made myself go and come up with the money, and I did. Because of that, I went from $5K to $100K in 6 months. It would not have happened if I lived and allowed my negativity, my fears to choke off my dreams. You cannot let that happen, brother. Your dreams are so powerful. They're so awesome. They're so wonderful. The only way your dreams are going to last is if you believe that you deserve them. You believe in the majesty of your dreams, and you shut those damn chattering monkeys. You choke them off with positivity. You choke them off with greatness and belief. Otherwise, they're going to choke you. They're going to choke your dreams. They're going to create doubt. And I'll tell you something, man. Doubt kills the warrior, or the warrior kills the doubt. You got to choose if you're going to be the warrior or you're going to be the doubting Thomas that's going to get killed by that doubt.
What are you going to be, guys? Are you going to be the doubting Thomas, or are you going to be the warrior? Put an L in the comments if you're watching this live, and put an R in the comments if you're watching recorded. We got a question from Matt Bell. He said, Nicky, how do you describe what it means for you to play to win? What does that look like for you, Nicky, to play to win?
Well, playing to win is awesome for me, man. So I get up in the morning, right, and if I'm playing to win, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to be on the phone with people. I'm going to be making calls. I'm going to be doing breakthrough sessions with people. I'm going to help people. I'm going to love them. I'm going to give them everything I got to help them to get to the truth of why they're stuck at a plateau, why their dreams are being choked off, why they're not living the life that they got to. I'm going to get to the truth. I am not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to let these people get away with a gaping wound that's covered by a Band-Aid. No, sir. I'm going to tell them they have a gaping wound. I'm going to make them feel that gaping wound until they say, I'm going to do something about this gaping wound. And then I'm going to offer them my solution if it's appropriate. And if it is, then we're going to do some business. And that's going to be good for them. It's going to be good for me. It's going to be good for the world. And that's what it looks like for me. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to eat clean. I'm going to read great books. I read 82 books last year, brother. 82 books. Actual books. I'm not talking about listening to audiobooks. I read 82 actual books. And I tell you what, man, most important thing I'm going to do is make sure that I keep that up. That looks like a playing to win day. So today, I sold 2 people. I enrolled them in the vision of their dream. It was a beautiful thing. On Friday, I sold 3. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about selling or whatever. I mean, it is and it isn't, but it's about serving these people, loving them. And when I serve and I love people, I'm kicking ass, I'm taking names. If I'm playing not to lose, and I'm kind of like, okay, let me get up, let me sleep in a little. Let me not push too hard. I'll do it. I need to relax. I need a break. You know, let me have that extra little piece of crappy food I shouldn't have. Let me forget about my workout, or I'll do a lighter workout, or that kind of thing. And playing to lose is in my head. I'm like, oh, my God, I just got to get through the day. It's so terrible. It's so awful. It's so horrible. Life sucks. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying, Colton, Lindsay?
Man, I do know what you're saying, because it would suck to live life like playing not to lose, right? Like, or playing to lose, right? Like, how many people? I ask this question all the time to random people. I'll get talking with them. I'll say, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 is you can't wait to get out of bed. You're so happy. You love life. 1 is you're miserable. You wish you weren't here. You know what the average number of people give me is?
No.
5. A freaking 5. I'm like, dude, you're floating around on planet fucking Earth and with 7.5 billion people, and you're like, oh, man, life sucks. I'm on a planet with opportunity. It's crazy.
If you live in the United States, These are the lands of opportunity, place where you make anything happen. It's glorious. Listen, right now in the United States, the economy is roaring. The stock market is roaring. Listen, not to get political or nothing, but you got a billionaire businessman in the White House, and that sumbitch doing something right, at least as far as the economy is concerned. You know, if you're living here right now, you got no excuse not to get rich. You got no excuse not to make it happen for yourself. The only thing getting in your way is the chattering monkeys and the negativity in your head. And you got to make sure that you do not allow them to choke off the dream that you've had to be of service, to make a difference, to be somebody, to deserve to live life, to help people be the best version they can be. I'm telling you what, Colton, Lindsay, these people that are here in this country and they are not following their dreams, we have an obligation to help wake them up, inspire them, move them up to the next level, man. Because if we don't do that, then why the hell do we do what we do? Listen, I'm really good at persuading and selling. Are you getting this?
Yep.
For me?
Yep.
I am a rock star. If I wanted to just make money, I'd go on Wall Street, brother, and I'd make 20, 30, 40 million a year. It's just the concept of doing that gives me the willies. Because it's not just about the money for me. I love money. Money's very important. I'm a capitalist. Make no mistake about it. In fact, I wrote a little book about capitalism for kids called Kathy Capitalist and Johnny Jobmaker. It's on Amazon. Go check it out. I'm all about capitalism. But you got to be here about service above self. Service above self will ensure that you win. Ensure that you have your dreams come true. Ensure that you're somebody that matters. You're somebody that the world says it's better because you were here.
So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, okay, so many people, we can get washed in the idea of making 7, 8, 9 figures a year. But how do you bring that message behind with it? How do you bring purpose to where you're contributing back to society? You're igniting fires in your clients to make their lives better. What's the secret with that?
Listen, it's really simple. People today expect authenticity. They expect transparency. They're not into you being that slimy salesman, the Fuller Brush 50 salesman. You know, it does this and it does that, and come on, buy, commission breath, buy. No, they don't want that, man. They couldn't care less about that. What they want, Colton, Lindsay, somebody who's going to be real with them. Somebody who's going to care more about them than their commission, than the transaction. And I'll tell you the truth, I say no to people all the time. All the time. I do not want to let them down later. I'd rather let them down now than let them down later. You know what I'm saying? And if you do that, if you care about the other person, like I said to you, one of my fundamental tenets of my intellectual property is sales is an act of love. And you should only sell from a place of love. The person in front of you should be someone you love. There's someone's daughter, there's someone's son, there's someone's wife, there's someone's husband, there's someone's friend. They've been going through a hard life. They've been stuck in a plateau. And they've been praying for someone honest and real and transparent like you to help them change their life. And man, I know that's who you are. If you're watching this Facebook Live with Colton Lindsay, you are that honest, transparent person. You owe it to them to let them know that that's who you are. Let them know that you're here to help them. And let them know that you will stand for them. You will not soften the blow. You will let them feel the pain of the truth of their situation. And you will offer them a real solution. That's your duty. That's your duty, sir. As a good capitalist, as a good American, as a good Canadian, as a good business owner, that's your duty. You got to do that.
As a good human being, right? How many of you guys can resonate with that? And a lot of my followers they're in sales, they're small business owners. But how many of you guys watching have ever thought of sales as an act of service? I don't know that I've ever thought of it as powerfully as Nicky's just painted that picture. Right? So how is it that when we're not looking at sales as an act of service, but we're looking at it as just kind of a technique that we do? Obviously, there's solid techniques with it.
That's when it doesn't work, Colton. That's when it doesn't work. That's
when it's just a technique?
Goes to shit. When it's a technique and not about love. That's when it goes to shit.
So how can they find that?
People think, I'm a salesman. That's when people think, yuck, oh my God, I don't want to be sold to. I don't want that slimy guy there. Because that's how they make them feel. And that's what they go inside themselves. I don't want to be that guy. That's why they hate selling. That's why so many entrepreneurs, so many potential thought leaders hate selling. They go, I don't like to sell. I hate to sell. They're nervous about selling. They don't want to come across like a slime ball. But if you teach them, as I teach them, as my mentor Mark Von Musser taught me, that sales is an act of deep love. Deep, deep, deep love. Deep caring. And that's where you come from. My God, sales will be fun and enjoyable and joyous and raucous and a dance. And then people will buy. They will buy Colton Lindsay. And they will buy honorably. They'll buy happily. They'll buy gratefully. And that's how it'll be.
I don't know what else to say. I usually have something to follow up with, but that was just perfectly. If you guys have anything to doubt him, put that in the comments. But if you agree, give us some thumbs up and put a yes in the comments for bringing the value. David said, I'm not in the sales business. I'm in the human connection business. I don't even have to sell anymore. I focus on getting the, what does it say? I focus on getting the like and trust me. So how important is that? Is the like
customer that can trust me? I think that's what he's saying, but that's cool. Yeah. Yeah, David, David's bang on. That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is. So well, listen, you know what? Like I said, I'm a truth teller. I call sales sales. I mean, yes, it's human connection, but it's sales. You know what? And we got to really be clear, not to shy away from that word, because it's what it is. Nothing will happen inside a company until a salesman or a saleswoman does their job.
It's so funny because I do a lot of training with a company called Fearless Agent. It's for real estate sales agents. And yet there's this trend with real estate agents across the country that and even in Canada, I think, right? They're trying to be called real estate consultants, right? It reminds me of when financial planners, they used to be insurance salesmen, but now they're financial planners.
Politically correct crap, in my
right? It's like, no, I'm pretty sure that license says sales agent. The one that they gave you says sales agent, right? Yeah, it is political crap.
Sales, brother. Sales. I love sales. Sales is awesome, man. I'm a proud sales professional, you know, because to me, selling is a noble calling. Selling is a way that I can make a difference for other human beings. I make the economy grow and get better. That's my shtick.
Put a 1 in the comments. Drop a 1 in the comments if you agree that sales is your shit. So, Nicky, let's talk about as far as how has sales and the ability to sell changed with technology over the last even 5 years?
Listen, it's harder than ever to get people on the phone that don't know you. You know, cold calling and that kind of stuff is harder than ever to do. It still can work, but people check you out. People go and say, who is this person? They try to look for like reviews and stuff like that. So you need to be dialed in to treating people well and not treating them poorly and all that good stuff. So that's really, really important. Secondarily, man, social media, like it or not, it's changed the game a little bit. One of the reasons I do things like this Facebook Live with you is I want people to go, oh, Nicky Billou, oh, yeah, he was on Colton Lindsay's show. I checked that out. Yeah, I saw that dude. I want people to say, man, I couldn't stand that dude. That dude's not for me. I want to repel the wrong people, but I want to attract the right people. And I'm thinking there's going to be people that watch this that are going to go, damn, man, 2018 starting. I've been doing it alone. Maybe I'm a coach. Maybe I'm a consultant. Maybe I'm looking to get into that field. Maybe I'm none of those things. I'm just a business owner. Maybe I'm in real estate sales. And you know what? I like the cut of this dude's jib. He is my kind of dude. I need some help. Let me find out about him and his programs. Let me see if he can help me. And that's why I do stuff like this, because, there's going to be people that are going to do that. And that's the whole deal. And then you're going to archive this, right? And there's going to be people who are going to watch this, and they're going to go, oh, man, that dude that Colton interviewed, that crazy Canadian dude, man. Yeah, let's talk to him. Let's go check him out. Let's be all about that. And as a salesperson, you got to be that dude. You got to be honest. You got to be open. You got to be transparent, man. And you got to be ready to do things that you've never done before that make sense now. Sales techniques from the old days don't work. That's one thing about thought leadership that really works. In the old days, calling, advertising could get you lots of leads. Today, not so much. You need referrals. You need recommendations. Better than that, you need authority, positioning as a thought leader. And that's what I teach, right? Help you be the thought leader. So Dan Nisker used to be a personal trainer, would train anybody with a pulse that paid his rate. Now he's the best-selling author of Para Tough. He's known as the dude who helps people with missing limbs. Man, clients flocked to him. Nobody was helping people with missing limbs get fit. But Dan was. The clients flocked to Dan. Flocked. And because they flocked to Dan Colton, I'm telling you what, Dan Nisker got rich. Rich.
So
Beautiful.
what's the key to have your clients or prospects flock to you? What's the key to generate that referral-based business? Obviously, you mentioned authenticity, but
it's real important that you set yourself up as a thought leader. So check out my podcast. Come find out about our courses. Come to some of our events in Toronto. We're going to teach you, and we're actually going to be coming out with this brand new online program. They also get free tickets to our events in Toronto as a result of it. And that's about how to hack becoming $1 million in 12 to 18 months, $1 million thought leader. And the thing you got to do is you got to have intellectual property. You can't just be somebody who knows nothing and hasn't thought through. You got to think, thought leadership, think and be a leader, right? So come up with those thoughts, and we'll show you how to do that inside what we do, inside our program. We have an event coming up this Wednesday in Toronto. So someone's crazy enough to clear their schedule and they want to fly to Toronto, come on down and be with us, right? We'll take care of you. We'll show you how to do it. So get that clear. Get your message clear. You need a message. You need a target market that cares about that message. Like, who gives a gosh darn? They got to care. And they got to have a 9 or 10 level problem, a bleeding neck, and you got to solve that bleeding neck. Russ Ruffino and Mark Von Muser taught me the bleeding neck concept. When the blood's pouring out here, you got to help them clamp it down, and you got to solve that problem for them. That's your job, right? And then if you do that, then you got to be around the right people. Don't do this alone. I keep telling people, don't do 2018 alone. It's too important. Your dreams are too important to do stuff like that alone, right? And then set yourself up so people know who you are and what your expertise is, what your messaging is. And they know you are the go-to expert. People know you're the go-to expert. They're going to want to come follow you. They're going to want to come find out who you're all about. They're going to do business with you. But if they don't know, they won't. You'll be like everybody else. You'll be trying real hard, banging your head against the door, and getting very, very little result.
So guys, if you guys are watching this live or recorded, how can you put this into your life? Like, who do you got to get around in 2018 to make sure that you're not going about it by yourself this year, right? What thoughts do you got to be putting into your mind? What energy you got to be bringing to play to win and not to play to lose? So here, before we wrap things up, Nicky, how can people go find your podcast and how can they connect more with you?
So #1 podcast is on iTunes and Stitcher. It's also at thethoughtleaderrevolution.com. And hey, you're going to be on the podcast, so I'm excited about that. We're going to be recording in about 3-4 weeks, which is going to be great. So they can do that. Secondly, if they want to connect with me, they can connect with me on Facebook, Nicky Billou, NickeyBillou. They can connect with me by email, nicky@ecircle.ca. And if they want to jump on a call with me, very simple. They just got to private message me and say, hey, I'm interested in what you're all about. I want to find out how this can apply to my business. And I will set up a call with them. I'll get them straightened out. There's a breakthrough call that I do with folks, Colton. It's all about helping people get to the truth of what's going on in their business and help them figure out how that can be addressed and solved. And that's what we're all about. That's what we do. So I'd be honored to do that for anybody who's interested. And hey, if you just think I'm too crazy and my kind of personality isn't for you, that's good too. You need to know who's right for you. You need to know who's wrong for you. And as somebody who also works with clients, you need to know which clients are right for you. You need to know which clients are wrong for you. There's a man named David Priemer. He was on my podcast last week. You know what? He calls this the exclusionary principle. You need to exclude certain people from being in your sphere. That's real important to know who that is. And I'm all good with it, man. If we're for each other, awesome. And if we're not, that's awesome too. Rock and roll.
So how long is this breakthrough call and how much does it cost people?
Breakthrough call, my friend, is absolutely free if you qualify for it. Okay? It's my way of saying, hey, I want to give to you and I want to see if I can be of service to you. Now, here's the deal. Breakthrough call, everybody knows. Breakthrough call is potentially an opportunity for us to do further business down the road. They're going to be able to qualify themselves to whether or not there's someone who can fit into what I got to offer. Hopefully they've watched this and they see that they like and they think I can help them. And I'm going to qualify them to see if they fit on those 4 things that I talked about. You know, resourcefulness, being committed, being coachable, and what was the last thing? Resourcefulness was being decisive. Those 4 things they got to have. I got to make sure all that's good. If I feel good about all those, then I'll say, hey, you know what? This is how I can help you. This is how we can work together. This is how much it costs. And I'll tell you something. 1 out of 3 people that get on the phone, 1 out of 4 people, I won't make that offer to them because it's clear it's not a fit for me and it's not going to be a fit for them. So that's how they work.
Cool, man. I appreciate you being on here today. Go ahead and check out Nicky. You can click on his name, add him as a friend, follow him. Connect with him on Messenger if you want a free breakthrough call, and make sure to check out his podcast, Thought Leader Revolution, or thoughtleader.com. Give me the right one.
TheThoughtLeaderRevolution.com.
TheThoughtLeaderRevolution.com. All right, Nicky, thanks for being on, man. I look forward to being on your podcast here in a few weeks.
We got to do this again lots, brother. I love this.
I'm totally down, man. Let's do it. Let's connect here soon. Thanks, Nicky. All right, guys, thanks for being on here, watching. That was Nicky from The Thought Leader Revolution. You're definitely going to want to check out his podcast. He's got some really big names on there. And I'm actually excited. I'm grateful that he gave me the opportunity to be on his podcast. He reached out to me. I didn't know him well. He'd reached out to me. We started connecting. Now we're getting to know each other. I'm going to be on his podcast. It has tons of downloads on iTunes, so I'm excited about that. If you guys watch this live, put an L in the comments. If you were one that watched the recorded, that's cool too, because I know most of you guys are going to watch the replay. Drop an R in the comments. Also, turn on your notifications for upcoming interviews and lives that I am doing. Now, I want to bring up some points. Number one is he talked a lot about, as men, bringing out your masculine energy and how important your masculine energy is to dive in deep, not only with your relationships, but to drive your business. How many of you need to show up like a man more often? How many of you are tired of walking around with no balls and you need to get a new set? You need to stand up and you need to believe in yourself. You need to be able to grow a pair and believe in who you are and the message you have. That's one that was very powerful. Part of that is being authentic, right? We live in a day where social media is really exploded. It's not exploding. It's exploded, true or true, right? And some of y'all trying to figure out social media still, and part of what you're bringing with social media is not the real you, it's the fake you. So one of the things that I would suggest to you is be more authentic. Who are you? What do you stand for? What's important about you? Don't pretend you're on one person here on social media while walking down the street, you're different, right? Like for you guys that have been following me for a while, if you go into my house, I'm going to talk the same way to you guys as I do to my family, or my family's you guys. My daughter's going to be running around the house stoked saying money comes easily and frequently. Fuck yeah. Like that's the energy that we're producing. Now, I'm not saying that that's the energy for everyone. My point is be who you are, be authentic. And number three is I think that I really took away from today is sales equals an act of service. Right? Don't pretend like you're not a salesperson if you're in the selling business. If you own a real estate sales business, or if you're an insurance salesman, or you're a loan officer, whatever it is, you're selling something. At the very least, you're selling yourself, right? At the very least, you're selling yourself. Sales equals an act of service. How can you go serve more people? That's a great question. That's a great way to wrap it up. Make sure to like, comment, and share, and turn on the notifications. If you're watching this replay, subscribe now. We'll see you later.